Hello Aquarius, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Aquarius for the middle of July. Now Aquarius, do keep in mind this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Let's go ahead and get a shuffle in here for you, Aquarius. Now I'm using the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot as well as the Kipper Oracle deck. There are links to all of these decks in the description below. Now it is still the case that less than 50% of the people who watch my content are actually subscribed, and so if you have not yet hit the subscribe button and you do watch my content regularly, please do consider doing that. It really helps me grow in a big way. It's free, and it also ensures that you get updates from me. So let's go ahead and make sure we're all set up and in view here, Aquarius. All right, we'll take 3 cards to clarify as we go along. And then, yeah, all right. So Aquarius, let's go ahead and see what we have on the bottom for you here. So you have the 7 of Wands. So the 7 of Wands is really a card of competition. This card asks you to stand your ground in the face of competition, in the face of challenges around you, and maybe challengers as well. As you can see that this person is fending off their challengers here with the wands showing up, kind of coming after this person. And so the important lesson here is with the 7 of Wands is you don't get to this point unless you've been successful. And that's the truth about having competition, right? Most of the times you have competition because people want what you have, or because they see something in you that they don't have, or that it's because you're doing well, right? And so the idea is with the 7 of Wands, you can't get there unless you're successful. And so do remember, I feel like saying, based on kind of what I'm feeling from that card, is some of you may need to just remind yourself of the kind of journey you've taken to get to where you are, and give yourself a sort of pat on the back. I know it sounds cliche, but that's kind of coming forward for me here for you. And also, don't let stand strong in your conviction as well. When you get the 7 of Wands, don't let someone knock you off your path here because they're having a hard time seeing your success. So let's continue forward. So in the current situation, you have the 8 of Swords. Maybe some of you are questioning why. Some of you may be questioning why are people acting this way, or what did I do to deserve this, or something like that. And it's part of the responsibility of being a leader. I feel like some of you maybe also are in leadership, or you're about to be in leadership, or you're thinking about it here in the future as well. And the thing is, with the 8 of Swords, this is one of these deals where you go back and forth in your mind. You're maybe unable to kind of see the road ahead, but many times this is about some sort of limitation that you may be placing on yourself. In this case, it seems like there's an external situation going on here, but just by default, the 8 of Swords may say that you're placing some sort of limitation on yourself. The thing is, with this 8 of Swords, there is a solution. That's the silver lining. Okay, there is a solution that exists. You just have to do what you can to sort of remove this metaphorical blindfold. Where is your blind spot, right? Where is where are you not seeing something clearly? That's what the 8 of Swords asks you to sort of find clarity around, obviously. And try to achieve that for yourself here. In the problem position, it is interesting you have the Sun. So the Sun is actually a very good card. For me, it's the best card to find in a tarot reading. The thing is, it's in the problem position. So here's the thing. Some of you, this is very clear to me now that I've kind of put the 8 of Swords and the Sun together. Some of you are having an issue with self-expression, okay? You're having an issue expressing yourself, expressing the way that you feel, or just maybe even feeling comfortable to express the way that you are or feel. And this is kind of what I'm seeing here, because the Sun can be about expression. It's also a card of truth. So some of you are maybe also having a hard time seeing the truth here. But there's a situation where your expression is being dimmed, right? Like the self-expression, this is the main challenge here. And I think it's because some of you are maybe looking at like external, there may be like a sort of external validation here as well, going on where you may need, where some of you may feel like you need to be friends with everybody, or you need to sort of, you need everybody to like you or something like that. I'm also kind of feeling that as well with this energy, but let's just continue forward here. In the past, you have the Judgment card. So the Judgment card is really a pretty deep card. It can indicate like a spiritual experience happening in your life. This is like quite literally a ruling that is coming down from the universe, kind of you waiting to hear the results of something. You can see that these people are waiting to hear about their karma, actually. And remember that the karma is just the accumulation of your actions. So it's sort of like when you get the Judgment card, it's extremely spiritual because it asks you to go into a period of self-evaluation and see what it is you need to do to kind of get to the world, which is the last card. You're at number 20. You want to get to the world, which is 21. You have the number 19 as well here with the sun in the problem position. It's almost like my biggest piece of advice here based on the cards is to not be afraid to express yourself. That's what I feel like. I know it's cliche, but it's what's coming in here. In fact, I haven't seen the sun in the problem position in a very, very, very long time. And I feel like someone's dimming your light. Okay, I feel like somebody's dimming your light. And here's the problem, Aquarius. You're allowing that to happen. And so this is what I feel like the biggest kind of recommendation based on the cards is for me, for you at this time. In the future, you have the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups is boredom and apathy. The thing is, when people are bored, they start stuff, okay? Especially if you've ever worked in if you've ever had like a 9 to 5, like a desk job, if you've ever been in that environment, like many times people get bored. And so they start gossiping to the person next to them. They start, stirring the pot. They start all sorts of stuff, rumors, and it's because they're fundamentally bored with their situation in life and probably also in work. And it's just a recipe for disaster. So I feel like somebody here, I don't think it's you that's bored, although we do have the self showing up here with the Eight of Swords and the sun in the problem position. I just feel like for some of you, there's a solution that needs to be had. And if anything, I feel like this solution is going to come in an alternative way. You can see that this person's receiving an alternative path. They're actually receiving a way out of their apathy, but they can't, their attention is not focused on this alternative path or this alternative solution. And so it's almost like for some of you, you need to deal with this competition situation here. And I feel like some of you are trying to figure out the way to do that. You're finding a solution to deal with this competition situation. And I get the sense that this is not going to happen, like the solution is not right in front of you. It may come forward in like an alternative way. Now, in your consciousness, what you are aware of or what you can see, you do have the Star card, which is one of my favorite cards to find. I really like that this is coming forward for you. The Star card is a wish being granted in your life. It's total hope and optimism for the future. It's really good energy. It's really good energy, and it says that things will work out. I like that it's in your thoughts position here, because to me it suggests that your thoughts are positively aligned at this time. Despite, like, in the face of competition, in the face of challenge, you are allowing your thoughts to sort of be positively aligned here. And now that we have this Sun card, I feel like finding this solution will come naturally to you as soon as you sort of get out of your own way. Because the Eight of Swords, the way that you could distill the Eight of Swords down to like a phrase is to simply get out of you being in your own way. And so the advice with the Eight of Swords is to get out of your own way. And don't be afraid to express yourself here, Aquarius. In the subconscious, what you can't see or the hidden, this comes through in your dream realm as well. You have the Queen of Pentacles. So you are bossing up here. Okay, you're bossing up here because you have this Queen of Pentacles here, but you also have the King of Pentacles in the future. I don't attach gender to my cards, so you can just take on any of the cards here. But to get both of these, you're putting your sort of your financial fitness, your material situation at the forefront, and you're not going to let anything hold you back, even in the face of competition. You're going to really move forward here. So I really like this for you. In the staff, this is the direction that you are headed. In your current influence, the way that you are influencing the situation, you have the Devil card. Devil card is a card that I like to say is our shadows. Okay, we all have a shadow side. We all have something to work through. If it's an aspect of yourself, it's a shadow side. But this can also represent somebody else's shadow side, right? So it's not always inward facing. This can also represent somebody else who's, quite frankly, just a toxic energy or a toxic person, or somebody who's just dealing with stuff in this lifetime for whatever reason, and unfortunately you have to deal with it as well when you get the devil energy. But here's the thing. I feel like letting go of the things that you can't control is extremely important here, because this is coming in your influence, the way that you're influencing the situation. So really, this is the position that you can control. Okay, this is what you can work on. In the external situation, which is you have the strength card here. In the external situation, which is this spot, this is what you cannot control. Okay, this is what's happening outside of you. You have this strength card, which is a card of willpower. This is a Leo card. This is all about fortitude. This is about also potentially somebody who's dramatic. This is also potentially about somebody who is like in the shadow. This would be somebody who's a little bit explosive, or somebody who's sort of ready to start an argument at like whenever, right? Like on a dime, they'll start an argument. And so it's like this is happening outside of you. I get the sense that for some of you, the advice here is to not, going back here, is to not be afraid to express yourself. And then the other piece of advice here is to control the things that you can control, okay? And let go of the things that you can't. Because I do feel like some of you are dealing with a forceful individual, somebody who's just a little bit forceful. This may not be what you want to hear, but this is what's coming in the cards. I really like how this ends up closing out though for you, because in your hopes and fears, you have this Nine of Cups. So you have the two wish cards. The Star card and the Nine of Cups are the two major wish cards in the tarot. And you know, the Nine of Cups is fulfillment of a wish. It's wish fulfillment. It is really nice emotional contentment in one's life. It's like the feeling of bliss. It's like that feeling that you get, like, I don't know, I'm just going to use, like, if you've ever had like a runner's high, like after you've gone on a jog or a run, it's that feeling, right? Or whatever the case may be. So it's like, I really like to see that. And then also in the outcome here, you have this King of Pentacles. So bringing this back to the King and the Queen of Pentacles here, I like how this ends out for you, because both of these court cards are successful, are seen as successful individuals in the tarot. And I get the sense that you might even be stepping into leadership here. I almost feel like there is a test. You can think about the Judgment card as a test, you being given a test from the universe. And it's almost like, it's interesting in researching this card, I've also found that this can come forward when you are maybe in the running for a job upgrade, or whether you, this can come forward if you're being like evaluated by your superior, for example, at work, and you don't know that you're being evaluated with the Judgment card. And so it's almost like the way that you handle this conflict here, the way that you handle this forceful individual, this forceful situation, is extremely important. Not to put pressure on you. It is extremely important. And I feel like being yourself, I know as cliche as that sounds, is the way forward for you here, Aquarius. Being firm, but being yourself is never a bad thing. So let's go ahead and take a look at what these three clarifiers are. Okay, so you have the Eight of Wands, you have the Knight of Swords, and you have the Six of Swords. So Eight of Wands, there's definitely some news on the way for you here. This may catch you by surprise. As you have this Knight of Swords and the Eight of Wands here, This is news that comes in from a distance, the Eight of Wands. It's something that happens quickly. It's this idea of like the pace of your life sort of accelerating. And then you have this idea of sort of sailing ahead or sailing forward here, transitioning, embracing calmer energy. When you get the Six of Swords as well, you can see that they're sort of on calm or still water. But this Knight of Swords can be something that is chaotic in your life. This can also be a forceful individual or an impulsive individual. So again, I feel like the way that you handle this situation is extremely important. In the Kipper cards, you have courtship, main male, and community. Okay, two things that just came into my mind. Be careful of someone trying to bait you, okay? In other words, be careful of someone trying to get a rise out of you, because they may be somebody who is an instigator, okay? You may be dealing with an instigator. On the other hand, you are absolutely dealing with a group, and I think that for many of you, this is your colleagues, the people that you work with day in and day out. But on the other end of this, you have this courtship energy, which is somebody potentially, this card I see come forward when like somebody wants to hire you, like a headhunter, or somebody really wants to court you into their organization or hire you. But again, I think that this is because you are potentially being watched or evaluated based on how you respond to a person or a situation here, and it's extremely important. So very specific message, but this is what I have for you. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you, and I will see you in the next reading.